residents. I am Councilperson Fercella Davis Panier, District 5 representative in the beautiful city of Riviera Beach. And today we're here to introduce you to a spectacular young lady, our July emerging leader, Miss Rianna Jackson. Today we'll find out a little bit more about her and her goals and aspirations. And welcome, Miss Rianna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. So we just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your school, your future plans. Tell us a little bit about Rianna.
Okay, so yes, my name is Rianna Jackson. First of all, before I start, I want to say thank you for making this opportunity, happen, Thank you to everybody in Riviera Beach who also contributed. Thank you to my father, Joseph Jackson Jr., who nominated me for Emerging Leaders. He works here in Riviera Beach in the utility district. He's very, very good at his job, might I add.
I love it.
I went to Inlet Grove Community High School in the LPN program. I actually just passed that test last week, so I am officially a licensed practical nurse.
What?
Shout out to Miss C, Ms. Shavers,
Yes.
Miss Kim. I will be attending Florida A&M University, majoring in pre-nursing. And my brother also goes there, named Joseph Jackson III, majoring in civil engineering.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, she just told us a whole lot. But let's back because I did get a text last week from a very excited father about this last and latest goal that you met. Tell us a little bit about that test that you passed and like what went into it. Like what were the qualifications for you to even be able to sit for that test, because that test comes with post high school education usually. So tell me how that came about.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So first, when I was graduating from middle school, I really did not want to go to Inlet, if I'm being honest. I wanted to go to Gardens. My mom told me, you need to go to Inlet. This is a great opportunity. They have the LPN program. I went for the LPN program. I had to sign up for it for when I was ending of sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually the process. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Okay. So I had gotten, found out, and then you have to pay a fee for it. Mm-hmm. And then it was a 2-year program, my junior and senior year.
Okay.
And we had to do, it had a lot I had to put a lot into it. It was very hard, I'm not going to lie.
A lot of science.
Yes, a lot of science, math, a lot of reading. Mm-hmm. A lot of studying. I had to put so much into it, so much time and energy. And one of the biggest things I had to do is be okay with not hanging out and having me time. I had to put everything into studying. And for the actual test, it was very hard. When I went to that test, I saw a lot of people way older than me. A lot of people that needed this test to, have a sustainable life. Yes. So I felt like I was very honored and very proud of myself for being able to take this test at only 17 years old. The test, I had to take the whole test. It was very hard, but when I found out that I passed, I was so proud. My mom was crying. Oh my God, it was so awesome.
I'm about to cry. So let me just say this, because I'm glad that you recognize how great of an accomplishment that is. There are people that have to take that test multiple times to pass it. And actually, we know that you're going away to college, but really, at this point, you can go into the workforce.
Yes.
With an LPN, and that is phenomenal. And we're going to come back to something else you said about that balance of time and having to make priorities, making the main thing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes for young people and adults, trying to prioritize things can get difficult, and you had to sacrifice, like you said, some me time, some hanging out time. Yes. To accomplish your goals. So we want to follow up with that. But let me just take a moment to shout out Inlet Grove, because Inlet Grove is right here in our city, Riviera Beach, under the direction of Dr. Emma Banks. And so she's putting out great products here in Riviera Beach, and they are going beyond Palm Beach County and making an impact. So I want to shout out Dr. Banks and her staff at Inlet Grove. We love you and we support you. So let me say that was a good decision that you and your parent made. And sometimes you have to listen to your parents, because we do know some things. We don't know all things, but we do know a lot of things. So tell me a little bit about balancing, because you're going to be talking to some youth that are going to be watching this video. How do you balance your time? How do you prioritize your time to make sure that you meet your goals and succeed? Because, you know, there's some long-term goals, there's short-term goals. How did you balance? What did you do to make that happen?
Well, first and foremost, I had to cut off the screen. I had to turn off
What screen is that?
My phone, my iPhone. I had to turn it off because that was probably my biggest distraction. And it was harder for me, I'll say, because I'm a homebody, so I love to watch a good movie, a good show. So turning that off, it was hard. I can't even lie. But my mom, I always had her in my ear saying, "Oh, if you're smiling too much, you're not studying enough. If you're smiling too much, you're not studying enough. You need to get back into those books." And my mom and my dad pushed me along to help me stay focused and to do what I needed to do. And for the test, I want to go back to that for a second. Okay. For the test, she was probably the most important person that helped me pass that test. She would sit there and do questions with me, at least 85 at a time. Wow. And after work, even when she was tired, she still wanted to help me. So I appreciate you, Mommy.
Listen, yeah. And you got it right the first time, Mom. So thanks for the sacrifice. And that's an important role of parents, to make sure that we're supporting our young people. And even just as a teacher, as an educator, I try to support students. Some parents may be busy, but you always have to find that mentor, that person that kind of pushes and supports you. So let's all be that for somebody, for some youth, because we all can play a part in developing our next generation. So I'm so excited to know that you had, your parents supporting you. And you shouted out your teacher, so you understand that it does take a village.
It does.
Let's talk about that. When you hear that, what does that mean?
It means that you need more than just yourself to succeed. I think you need multiple people. Multiple people can contribute to your success. And my number one, I would always say this, any person I'm talking to, is God.
Come on.
As a Christian, I think you always need God to succeed. If you think you're going to be at the pinnacle of your success, not unless you have God with you. So I would like to shout out my Lord and Savior. And then my grandma, she also contributed a lot to my relationship with God. So I like to thank her a lot too.
Yeah. I love what you said, because we do, and even as adults, we need a village. At parenting, I've had to call my friends and say, okay, somebody come get one of these children. I don't know. Just come pick one, because it's too much right now. So we all have to have a support system. And I try to tell young people that when I work with them as a counselor, is that you have to be able to rely on other people. You cannot do this life alone. It's not even made like that. That's why we are social beings. So we have to rely on each other for strength, sometimes for support, for encouragement. And it's a good thing. It's a strong thing when you can reach out and ask for help, or say, I need some support right now. And it's great that you had the resources that you had.
I think that it's very important to put your pride aside and ask for help when you need it. Especially when you're going to college, when you're in the nursing field, it's very tedious. You need to put your pride aside and ask for help when you really, really need it. Or even when you don't need it, just ask for help, just so you can stay ahead of the game. So,
and I'm saying this because, like, I feel like you understand, because you're just coming out of high school. You had a challenging curriculum. But that's another thing that we need to share with our young people and youth. I tell them, ask for help. Teachers are there. Ask for help. If you don't get it, tell them you don't get it, and then get the help you need, so that you can keep moving forward and don't get defeated. Because I know a lot of students, if something is challenging or hard, sometimes they just say, it's too hard, I can't do it, and they give up. Do we give up? That's not an option. Giving up is not an option. It's not an option. So awesome. So tell me a little bit about some of the organizations that you have been a part of over the last few years.
I was a part of NHS, National Honor Society. I was a part of Top Teen Outreach Program, but that was through my medical class. And I love that program so much, because we had the opportunity to help a lot of people do community service. And so, especially when we did one for the homeless, I think we made hygiene bags for them. And then we also made these baskets for women battling breast cancer. So I love that. And then I was also in First Priority at my school, which is a Christian organization. to help us get closer to God. Those are like my main picks, I would say.
And I think that your foundation is great. And as you go off to college, I'm glad you know how to manage your time and prioritize, because you'll need to put that into motion again once you go to FAMU. Yes. There'll be a lot of activities, a lot of times for socializing, but there's a way to find a balance. And I believe that you are prepared and that you definitely will know how to balance your time. So you talked about first priority and you spoke about the National Honor Society. So that is an academic, that's an honor society that is for those students that maintain high academic standards. Mm-hmm. Was it challenging? Did you know you were going to do it? Was that one of your goals? Like, I'm going to be at the top of my class. I'm going to have a great GPA, because I think it has to be over 3.5, 3.
I think it's weighted. I think it's 3.9. Unweighted, I don't remember.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I think I really did want to be a part of the National Honor Society, and I did want to be at least, up there with my grades and my status, because I just think that having a good academic career and having a good what's that word? People know it when they hear your name. They know that, okay, yeah, that's Rianna. She has a good standing. You could trust her. She's very good with her academics. I think I really wanted that. I really wanted that to be a part of my legacy at Inlet Grove.
Awesome. So let me ask you this. So if you're talking to young people, what do you tell them about success? What are some things that they can do to try to be successful? And how do you determine success, or how do you explain what success is to you?
Okay, so I think that success is all the things that your goals that you want to accomplish, and the goal that you've already accomplished. I think that's how I would determine success. And some advice I would give for people, younger people to be successful is, number one, trust in God. Number two, have time management skills. Because if you don't know how to manage your time, your day has been wasted. And the day that you're in now is today, July 31st, it's not going to come back. It's the 2026, July 31st is not going to come back. So manage your time properly so you can get everything you need to do done. And my mom used to always tell me, wake up at 6, 7 a.m. because especially when you have siblings, it's very hard to get things done when you have siblings. So make sure you wake up early and get what you need to do done. And the next one, I feel like is talked about, but not enough for me. So I think, especially coming from me as an I was nursing and stuff, I think you should have confidence. When you have confidence, you're smarter than you think you would be. I promise you, when you walk into a room, people are going to trust you more because you know what you're talking about. You have confidence, and you have confidence in what you're doing. It's going to make you 10 times more successful. And then something that ties into confidence a little bit is not comparing yourself to others.
Say that again loud.
So not compare yourself to others. Goodness. Okay? When I was in school, I had to deal with it a couple times. Not a lot, but a couple times. When you compare yourself, now you're thinking, wow, I cannot believe, how are they here? They're the same age as me. How are they there and I'm right here? Do not compare yourself, because what you got going on is where God wants you to be right now. Okay? So you need to stay looking at your own lane. Stay in a straight line. Do not go off to somebody else's line when they have something going on for them. You can stay. What you're doing is great for you. You're very successful. I have to tell myself that a lot. Like, just because they're doing that doesn't mean what you're doing isn't good, isn't very successful, isn't good for you, because I promise you it is. So just stay on your own path, And then, yeah, that's the advice I would give someone.
Well, all right, well. Okay, bloom in the place that you're planted, right?
Yes.
I mean, you just spoke to all of us, not just young people, when you said that about comparing. Like, that is probably the most, that's why social media is dangerous. That's why the likes and the no likes, that's why all of that is dangerous, because we find ourselves comparing. Where we should be is where we are. And you may not get to where somebody else is, because, like you said, it's not the same path for you. Maybe it'll take you a little bit longer. But once you compare, then you start losing faith, losing confidence. Like you said, that was amazing. Like, those were some very strong and so true. Yes. And even the time management, when you talking, like you're talking to all of us, this time management, because, there are sometimes that we just get distracted, we get unmotivated, And we lose time. And if we are trying to work toward our goals, we have to stay focused.
Stay focused.
I'm telling you. So, I mean, that's something for me too. So, I appreciate that.
And then you had said something early on about like mentorship and stuff. I would like to say I find it to be very important to have a mentor, somebody that can guide you, somebody that's older than you that can tell you, oh, I've been through this. Because I heard a lot of older people say like a smart man learns from their own mistakes, but a wise man learns from other mistakes.
Ooh.
And for me, I think
say it again. I'm gonna need you to slow that down because I'm trying to listen. You're talking to me too, so I have to hear it again. So go ahead.
A smart man learns from their own mistakes, but a wise man learns from other mistakes, other people's mistakes.
So I don't need to make the same.
Yeah, you don't need to make the same mistakes.
Right. Okay.
You can learn from somebody else. I think I'd rather cut off, 2 years, 1 year of having to go through some stuff, and somebody else can do the same thing, and I can get advice from them. So make sure you get that mentor, take advice. If you're going through something, do not keep it to yourself. It will weigh you down. You're gonna end up getting your grades gonna tumble. Okay, before you even realize it. So go ahead and get somebody to talk to. Go ahead and find somebody that you can confide in, and trust in them. Tell them what's going on in your life so they can give you advice.
Oh, I love it. And mentors are a lifetime. Like at 40, I had a mentor. At the age I am now, I have a mentor, several. And in the future, I will have a mentor. Like that is something that's just a growing process. It's good to have it. So for the fact that you realize that early on, you are ahead of the game. And the mentor doesn't have to be just your parents. You can find other mentors. You could be a teacher. It could be a counselor. It could be someone at your church or someone in the organization. That's why I promote so many youth organizations, and I like for you all to tell about the organizations because we have a lot of youth organizations, and those are places that people can find good mentors and things like that. So that's why I always promote that. So we're kind of coming toward the end. So let's talk about voting. How important is voting to you? Tell me what you think about voting, and then I'll follow up with another question.
Okay, so I think that voting is very important, okay? Now, I'm young. If I'm being honest here, I'm very young, and I wasn't really into politics. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I never even watching the news when my mom had it on. But as I get older, I realize that it's very important for us to have a voice, especially Black people. I think it's very important to vote and get yourself heard. You have something you're worrying about. Go ahead and make a difference. Cause I see a lot of people, they talk about it, they complain about it, but they don't actually want to do something about what they're complaining about. So go ahead and vote. Go ahead and look at all the stuff that you want to make a difference in your community, and go ahead and vote.
And so be the change that you want to see. Yeah, and do something. Don't just talk about it.
Just complain.
Do something. Right. I love that. All right. So how do you think we can get our young people more engaged in voting? Because you even said that you were kind of hesitant, like I'm not interested in that. Yeah. But it's important, like you said. We have elections coming up in August. We have election in November. And we need everybody voting, young, old, the college students that are away. We have to make sure that everybody is registered and that everybody participates. So what are some ways that we can engage, that you think we can engage young people?
I think people that are in my generation have a very low attention span. So I think something that's interactive with them, doing like a presentation, you can have a back and forth with them, or like you're doing something where you can perform in front of them that they can interact with, and they can actually have a conversation, get those gears running, So something like that, because if you're gonna sit there and go on a lecture for an hour, we're not gonna listen. I wouldn't listen either, if I'm being honest. So I think something interactive with the kids would be good for them.
Okay, I like that idea. Okay, all right, so I'm learning some more things. Listen, what I can say that I have gathered for today is I want you to be my nurse. And if you go on to become a doctor, I want you to be my doctor because I trust you. Let me tell you, I don't know you that well, haven't met you, haven't engaged in a lot of conversations. But let me tell you, I trust you.
Thank you. I hope I don't have to see you too often.
Right. I hope not either. But if I ever needed a nurse or medical attention, I would definitely trust you with me and my family. And I wouldn't say that to anybody and everybody, but I really do trust you. I trust the character that you spoke about, your trust in who you trust in, your mentorship, the fact that you know that it's important to listen, not just talk, but to listen and learn. The fact that you know how to manage your time and make priorities, make the main thing the main thing. Um, I can't, I mean, it just speaks so highly of you. And so, shout out to your parents for, all that they instilled into you. Shout out to you for putting in the work.
Thank you.
For putting in the work, for being a great example. We trust that you're going to go to FAMU. Talk about that. Are you excited about FAMU?
What made you choose FAMU? I'm very excited yet nervous. And honestly, the main thing that made me choose FAMU was because my brother goes there. Okay. My older brother. And also, I just like the community there. Mm-hmm. It was very welcoming. I went there for orientation, like at the beginning of this month, I believe. And it was very nice, to see everyone like pushing us towards our goal, wanting us to succeed. I think that's very important when you're going to college.
And I will say, I could attest, I have my son graduated, Richard Panier, and then my oldest daughter graduated from FAMU with her MBA as well, Alexia Panier. And it's the same story, like the confidence they gained, the support, the lasting relationships that they gained. I mean, I just cannot. I don't regret. I went to a PWI, but I love that they went to FAMU and what FAMU did for them. So, go Baby Rattlers. So excited for you. So excited for you. So again, I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being our July Emerging Leader. We are super proud of you. You are definitely living the life of the motto of District 5, where we are people focused, community centered, and purpose driven. And those are all the things that describe Miss Rianna Jackson. So once again, Riviera Beach, this is Miss Rianna Jackson. We are proud of her, and you can also nominate an emerging leader. Please visit the website, the city's website, Fercella Davis Panier, council person, and there is a form. You can nominate a young person age 6 to 26, and we will select one every month. And we have been getting some fantastic emerging leaders, and so we encourage you to also nominate someone. But again, thank you again for your time. And again, thank you, Rianna.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. See you next time, Riviera Beach.